So his body shall not remain all night. You got to bury him that same day. I could take you to a museum in London. When I was walking London, I walked across the Tower Bridge. That's, a lot of people call it the London Bridge, but it's not the London Bridge. It's the Tower Bridge. It's right by the Tower of London, where King Henry VIII put his wife up in the tower and starved her to death because she couldn't seem to bear many children. And the Catholic Church did not believe in divorce. And so he starved her to death so he could have another wife. Put her in that tower. Her cries were heard right over that area of the Thames River. Well, the Tower of London, a beautiful ornate bridge, it has towers on it and all. On the other side toward Kent, it does a Y, go to the right, go down about 2 blocks on the left. There is the Dungeon of London. You ever go to London? Go visit it if you got a strong stomach. It has all of the torture devices and tools that man has had throughout the empire of the British Empire. Dark Ages and all. And there it has a giant bird cage about this big around, and it's only about this high. It has kind of a flat bottom, only about that around. And what did they do with that bird cage? It'll tell you right there. They put the man, when he was condemned to death, instead of hanging him on a tree and burying him in the same day, they put him in that bird cage, hung him over the walkway. People would come along, and he was just high enough they could poke him with their umbrella when he's sleeping. Kids could throw stones at him. They could throw water at him. They could tease him. They could torture him. The family could bring him food and water. They couldn't bring him blankets and all, but soon he died of exposure, exhaustion from being tormented. But they failed when he died to bury him the same day. They disobeyed that scripture right there. And what happened? The decomposed body of that individual fell down onto the sidewalks. The rats and the mice ate it, and thereby began the infestation of the bubonic plague. You ever sing the song, Ring Around the Roses, Pocket Full of Posies, Ashes, Ashes, that came from the bubonic plague. Oh my gosh. I played it as a nursery rhyme kid. I was in kindergarten, and we'd do that, and we'd laugh when I didn't know what it meant. The children going to school were given a handful of flowers and told to put their nose to it when they walked by all the piles of dead bodies. And then, by the time they got out of school, they had to cut their forests down and burn their forests to every day, burning bodies, burning bodies. When they came back by after school, it says right there in that museum, the bodies were all ashes. They all fell down. That's that little nursery rhyme. Does it mean so much to you anymore after that? There's a biblical principle that was violated that allowed that to happen. So you see, God really does watch over His word to perform it. And so that should put the fear of God in us, shouldn't it? All right, let's find out what is another principle or another area